Hello, and welcome to the Libri Labra Book Club. Today I'm joined by my husband, John, aka BookTube Hubby, and also Book Club VIP member Tom. And we are going to be talking about Afterlife with Archie, Volume 1, by Roberto Aquierre-Sacasa and Francavilla. And obviously, we're going to talk spoilers. It is a graphic novel. If you haven't read it yet, go read it and then come back. But really quick, if you ever want to join us during our discussions on camera, you can do that by becoming a Book Club VIP member on patreon.com/Libri Labra. And there's a few different perks like priority commenting, and you get a custom bookmark, and you get to help us choose what we're reading each month, and you'll be part of a rotation where you get to select books as well, and also be part of our exclusive Facebook chat where we talk about some of the medium we're consuming. So it is October. I'm assuming that was likely why you selected this.
Yeah, you set the mood.
Yeah, spooky season, right?
Yeah, definitely spooky season.
We can't do that, can we?
What? I don't know.
You're jelly now. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, turn the other one off now too.
Are you leaving it on? Oh.
I'd rather have the fan on.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Yours
looks more black and white and noir going on there.
So initial thoughts before completely jumping into spoilers.
I never knew anything of Archie, so this is interesting to me.
Sorry. Carry on.
So you're saying you didn't know much about Archie?
I knew nothing of Archie.
Okay.
So this is new. Opening up his world to me and just destroying it was interesting.
I think I have questions because there are people in this that I didn't think knew each other.
Yeah, that was surprising too.
I mean, I knew of Archie's existence. I haven't really read it, I don't think. I think my godfather used to have Archie toilet paper. It was interesting. It was just a roll of toilet paper that had like comic book print on it, and I think it was Archie.
Is that their first attempt at giving you something to read while on the toilet?
I don't know. Tom, what were your initial thoughts? Oh, is there a delay?
Did we lose him? Tom, are you there?
Might have lost him. He seems frozen.
One moment, please. We have some technical difficulties.
Should I? I mean, he'll probably just drop. Sad face. Oh, it's back.
I made a mistake of moving my computer.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a bit of a delay there.
So I swear I'm not gonna touch it now. Anyway, continue.
So your initial thoughts?
Like you, I didn't really know Archie. I knew like I knew that yes, there exists Archie, there exists Jughead and Peretti and Veronica, and past that, nothing else.
Same.
So, yeah.
Same. All right, at this point, I think we can jump into spoilers. And my first question is like, has Sabrina always been part of this world, and I just had no idea?
I don't think so. I think
or was this some weird crossover
to make this happen?
Well,
now I'm curious though.
Well, I mean, they introduce her, as a necessary plot point in the first volume, but they Like the very first volume of Volume 2, very first issue of Volume 2 deals with her. So she does play a more important role. But as for her place in the Archie universe, I have no idea. I would suspect it's like adjacent to Archie, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, because never in my mind would I have put those characters together at all. So I don't know. Are they like originally created by the same?
Let me ask you this, and this may shed light on things. Have you seen Riverdale, the TV show?
I saw one episode, and like at first I didn't know that it was Archie.
Right.
So, and I know it's definitely got creepy vibes, and
right.
I had no idea it was going to be that either, and I definitely want to go back and watch it.
I never knew it had creepy vibes.
Well, we'll put it this way. I'm not sure what the chronology of events was, but the guy who wrote this is the showrunner for Riverdale.
Okay.
So, looking around the internet, oh yeah, he stopped doing the comics because he got hired. He's got hired for his real love, TV, and he's doing, the TV show now. That's why it's unfinished.
Have you watched it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know people who are rabid fans of it, but I am not one of them, so I can't.
Do you want to watch it?
I mean, anything is research to me. Okay. I'm open to watch anything.
Yeah. Right. I understand it's ridiculous and the way the comic books are ridiculous, but just sometimes you just gotta go with it. But I understand it is.
I know nothing of the world, so outside of reading this and watching it fall apart.
Right.
So I had no idea where this story was going, and I think what's funny is that because I only knew of the characters, not really their plot points or anything like that, I thought the whole thing with Betty and Veronica was ridiculous. Like that they're best friends, but they're also fighting over Archie. Like,
yes, that is the constant trope throughout Archie comics. Yes.
Because they seemed very much not like best friends with the way they were kind of going at it and being so concerned about what Archie was doing. But that was interesting. They definitely have two very different personalities. But in my head, and I don't know why I think this, but I always felt like he was with Betty. So does he actually, history-wise, does he go back and forth between them, or does he never actually pick one? Or
it may depend on which run you read.
It even mentioned in here. He even said like, that. I don't know. I figured I'd be waffling for the rest of my life.
Yeah. That's why he's been doing it throughout the comic runs too, as far as I understand it. So
that's hilarious.
Is it?
I mean, it's hilarious in a ridiculous way.
Welcome to Riverdale. Yeah, that's all I can tell you.
I did not expect this story to start with a dog and that whole thing.
Jughead's dog, yeah.
But, the minute he was like, well, can't you do anything? I was like, oh, bro, that's how all horror movies start.
It is.
It's like, why are we pet cemeterying this?
Yes. And then they bring the Necronomicon into it. So, yeah.
But, who else was in it? The cat. What was the cat's name?
Salem,
yes.
Salem, yes. I think that's derived from the TV show. I have no idea. I've never read Sabrina comics. So.
I did not read the comics, but I did watch the TV show growing up. And, yeah, Salem was definitely from the TV show. I don't know if he was also... the talking cat. He was very snarky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm familiar with the other characters. Who was it? Like Moose and
Midge.
With Midge.
And Reggie and
then Ethel.
A couple of the other ones. I can't remember the blonde guy's name. But he was the one who was trying to comfort Reggie in the pool room, and when it's like, well, apparently this character is supposed to be gay. The not Reggie, the other one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really, but
I think what was also interesting was that because in my mind Archie is so old, I was not expecting any of it to be so current. I wasn't expecting current pop culture references. I wasn't. So like all that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit.
Well, they also have that other plot line with Ginger and is it Nancy? They're at Pop Tate's diner and
right. Yeah.
The twins are interesting too.
Oh yeah. And not in a good way. Or in a good way, I don't know.
They made them very sinister.
And not a little creepy. Not So
the artwork was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the way they use like the oranges and the purples and the blacks and everything. It was really well done.
Yeah, John's.
I was trying to figure out the character name, but I can't read it with my contact in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to look it up, but that's fine. The character I'm talking about. Well, the other dog moment in the book was Vegas saving Archie from Jughead's son. I wish I could. Oh, I almost had it. Dropped.
Hot dog.
Hot dog, yeah. From Hot Dog, the zombified hot dog. That was a good scene. That
was sad.
Yes.
I almost cried. Especially because they had like his doggy dialogue in there.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, no. I feel like I could see Doobie's personality in there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was sad. And the whole thing with Archie's dad was also sad.
So I guess my question is, how did this version of Riverdale, I don't know, maybe clash with your previous version of Riverdale and Archie?
But for me, again, I didn't have one.
Yeah, no frame of reference, or
okay. Not really. Like I outside of I don't know what bubblegum wrappers that I used to read in the back of the day.
Yes.
That's the only thing I ever saw Archie on, and I never actually had enough. I never followed the comics myself, so.
Okay.
It's in my head. It's so vintagey. It's so like 50s.
Yes.
I feel like, and so it was definitely like, it just took me a second to be like, oh wait, it's Archie, but like current Archie.
Archie, yeah.
like I wasn't expecting the language. I wasn't expecting the topics. I wasn't expecting the pop culture references. And in regards to like the TV show, I know like there was something spooky happening, but I didn't watch enough of it to find out like how serious it was or if anybody died or anything like that. So this was way more serious than the one episode I saw.
Mm-hmm. Well, like also too, I think again, not a reader of the comics, but I think it retains the essential tropes of an Archie comic, but elaborates its own story based on that. Like the ridiculous Betty Veronica thing. Yeah, that's kind of to be expected. It wouldn't be an Archie comic without it, in other words. So they include it. And Jughead is always hungry, and in fact, I don't know if it's tied to this or not, but there's a series called Jughead the Hunger, which I think has him as a zombie. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's it sucks because it sounds like Betty's parents turn into zombies. Archie's dad turns into a zombie. Then the dog. And then he bit the crap out of Ethel, so Ethel's probably so like half the town is gonna be.
That's why they left.
How many volumes are out now?
2.
Yeah, I say this is book 1, so there's more.
Yeah, digitally, for whatever reason, they didn't put out a trade. They just left the single issues. So, after reading this, I thought, it's been years, and I've read the first one at least twice. So I should read the other one. So I did. But that's it. It's quote unquote on hiatus, which
Right.
probably means
But
canceled. But,
but it's been out. Like it's been on hiatus for a while.
years, yeah.
Yeah. That sucks. I can't imagine that there's too much to do though when you have like that many people who have already turned into a zombie. Like you're only going to be left with the small group that was in the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it's like The Walking Dead, same idea. What do you do now? So.
Then you deal with Zelda and what's the other one's name?
Oh, the aunties.
Yeah, you deal with their ancestors, then whatever ritual what is it? Payment they have to do in order to pay back or make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess. For Sabrina disrupting the balance.
Right.
Yes. And again, in Volume 2, the first episode deals with what happens to her.
And she was banished.
Yeah. And we see that in the first issue. So, if that's of interest, I mean.
I would check out the second one. I know you noted in your review that they had all those alternative covers.
Yes.
Yeah, all in the back.
I thought that was cool.
Yep.
With the explanations too, and the fact that they had those like limited edition ones at like Comic-Con or whatever.
Yeah, because people buy them for the covers. Absolutely. The variants. But I think it was interesting that yes, it's coming of age story for Riverdale, for the Riverdale kids, and it also shows for example, is it the Lodges, for example, it gives their how they got there, and what their story is, and how they connect to the town. See, having read both volumes, I apologize. I don't know which volume. So if I go beyond, tell me.
Well, this one ended with them setting off fireworks to distract
the zombies,
and then to go through the cellar.
Yeah, they left through the sewers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where it ended.
Yeah, which is basically the way Walking Dead starts. Oh, we're going to. I think what was it? There's going to go to Atlanta originally, or something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, that fell by the wayside too. So, but, what do you think of Reggie in this volume?
Well, he's obviously experiencing some guilt for what he did, but he hasn't told anybody. He hasn't confessed or so
all the signs they're painting are pointing to him as having killed Hot Dog, but they don't actually say it.
Oh yeah, he was. What do you mean Hot Dog was sick? What do you mean?
No, he said Hot Dog's alive.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's clear that he knows more than he's letting on. But like I said, they delve into that in Volume 2. So,
I mean, he caused the first domino to fall, but it's not his fault that they decided to resurrect the dog and it became a zombie dog and then bit Jughead. That sucks.
It's Sabrina's fault.
Jughead's a
She
zombie.
didn't listen.
Did she have a crush on Jughead? Are they just friends?
She just saw him, but if it was Salem.
Yeah, that's what clinched the argument for her.
Yeah.
If it was Salem, what would you do?
Damn.
I guess they never saw the films where you resurrect anything. It's never exactly the same as it was before.
Never, ever.
Right. So, which is why they had that rule against it, because you get zombie apocalypses apparently. So,
sucks though, that just thinking about the fact that like Jughead is a zombie. Like he's like one of the main characters, but he's out. He's a zombie now.
Well, he's in. He's in. His
I
own.
mean, like yeah, but like he'll never be the same either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one thing you can do in comics is that, you know, you could say, okay, well, like Star Wars too, but not to that extent in the sense that, okay, let's create this storyline. You know, it's not canon, but we just want to see how this plays out. You know, like in the Injustice series for DC, for example, they do a lot of that too. Like, well, what happens if, I don't know, Tim Drake kills Nightwing? You know, that sort of a thing. So, and as far as I know, Archie is still being published. I don't know if I'm correct in that, but I think it is. So you have that counterpoint of, I would like to see like what a modern Archie comic looks like, a regular one as opposed to this, just to see what the differences are.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, I assume Archie's learned a lot in his young
but
age.
how old is Archie?
That's what I'm saying. They're all in high school, right?
Still?
I have to be.
Have they not aged him at all?
Well, surely you've seen the the panel where referencing Calvin and Hobbes now, where Calvin's all grown up.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, really? Oh, it's quite good. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess for the story to actually take place, they still have to be in high school, I would think. But
Turns out Riverdale is full of vampires.
Oh, is
They
that?
all
Did
live
you look?
forever.
Did you? Oh,
No, I'm
I
joking.
thought you looked it up. I was
No.
like, what? There's vampires in Riverdale.
I wish I could say something, but I can't.
I actually found an Archie book.
Hmm.
And I have to, after this, I'm going to go looking for it to see how old it is. It's definitely very yellowed. But now I'm curious. I was holding on to it because I was like, oh, Archie. But I've never read it, so I'm wondering what's in it.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking here. I just looked at the Archie Comics store, and I forgot that they actually had, in their normal runs, they had Halloween-themed books as well from back in the day. So that also might be interesting to look at.
Okay.
Where would I have put that?
We'll worry about it later.
I feel like I want to go look for it now, but I'll wait till later.
At least 10 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like there's subscriptions for Archie Comics, so I guess they're still in print.
Interesting. I wonder if there's like people still reading it from its inception.
Maybe, but that's all. In a sense, that's almost like saying, how many people have read DC or Marvel since their inception? Yeah,
That are still
how long
alive.
it's been around. Yeah, that is, you know. So
Because comic books are definitely older than us.
yes, so
It was interesting getting like backstories from people, like seeing a little bit about Archie's dad and when he first got the dog, and
yes,
you know, before Veronica was born, because she just seemed like a rich bitchy kid, but like
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I my perception of her changed a little bit, finding out that her dad really wanted a boy and they weren't expecting a girl, and
Right.
Yes. Oh, they did. Yeah, I think for the major characters, they did that. You know, so you could understand their backstory a bit more. So,
yeah, and her mom like passing away, and then what I thought was interesting was that she bumped into the aunts on the train,
Yes.
and they were like, "No, you're having a girl. It's not a boy." And then I wonder who was like, they were talking about somebody else, right? They were like, oh yeah, our friend so-and-so is also having a baby with white hair or something like that and is also a girl. And I was like, are they talking about Betty?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
So that was interesting. Or unless we were talking about Sabrina.
I don't know. Then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she apparently is in the same universe as Archie, but I don't remember them being, again, not a reader of the comic.
Right, yeah, right.
So, I think the idea was to spin off the Sabrina series from this series. So, but I don't know if that ever came to pass. So, no, so I know there's the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina series,
Right.
but I don't know if it came from this.
Right.
So.
I might have to check that out too. I don't think it has that many episodes.
Right. And the other one I know, the other series I know of, again, it's a horror book, but I don't know if it's spun off from this, is Vampironica.
Oh.
So,
Didn't somebody call her that in the book?
Possibly. Again, I've read both volumes, and I can't. I know. So.
Because she dressed up during Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Betty was a nurse, of course.
Yes. Archie kids.
Hello, nurse.
But yeah, but from what they showed, I remember what I remember in the first volume. Betty does take on that role. When directing people, okay, you do this, you do that. And essentially taking care of her fellow students. So.
Are you going to read the next one?
I'm okay reading the next one.
Bye. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about continuing something that just ends or is not going to be finished. If he's saying it's been on hiatus for a while.
I think it's fair to say that the second volume adds plot lines to the story. So if that's of interest, continue. But to my mind, I was like, well, wait, where's the original plot line? That was pretty good. What are we going to do with that?
So is the picture on the cover, is that Jughead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see the
Does
crown.
he have the crown in that
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it now.
King of the Zombies. That's him.
Interesting.
He's the human patient zero. But it's the kind of thing where, is it the mechanic where if you kill the patient zero, then the rest, die or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That hasn't been established yet.
Okay, because I was like, can't think of too many zombie movies that I've seen that has that mechanic. It's usually vampires.
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I'm wondering. Oh, the other character that they were showing some inside information on was the butler.
Oh yeah, Smithers.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, because he seems like such a background character, but they bring him to the forefront long enough for you to get all that history on him.
It helps explain some things in the second volume. I'll just say that. So it's good that you had that backstory.
Sounds to me like every butler is eventually some little badass.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Alfred. But yeah.
Right.
But
That's
I
good.
just thought it was a well-conceived, well-drawn book, and it's nice. Yeah, it's horror, but it's not like over the top or it's violent enough to say, okay, yeah, this is bad, but it's not so violent. It's like, oh, no, I can't read this anymore. So to me, anyway.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, interesting choices to make with the dogs. To put them in there, but it's like, okay, but it works.
People's love for the animals is the driving factor for this for this actual story.
Well, at the beginning, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they go through the trouble of showing like how Archie gets Vegas, and how his dad said, "No, this is your dog. Whatever happens, you're
get emotionally attached to this one too before we kill it." That's messed up.
I know.
Yeah, but he's being straightforward, and it's like this is what's going to happen, And
Right.
is it better to sugarcoat it? No, I don't know. Because when the time comes, it's going to be awful, and would that make it worse?
They drew Vegas with such puppy dog eyes. It was heartbreaking. And then Archie was trying to save Vegas too.
Yes. It's like, and Vegas like, I'm doing this to save you. Get out of here.
Right.
Yeah, that's an appropriate read for spooky season, I think. So that's it. When I found out my choice was going to be for October, it's like I got to pick this one. Excuse me. So.
And Francisco Francavilla is the illustrator, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what else he's done?
I do not offhand, but I'm sure you can go to any comics website and type in and say, and that's one thing I'm sad that Comixology is not around anymore, because you could do exactly that. Like, oh, who's this creator? Oh, what did they write? Oh, here all it is.
Comixology disappeared?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got bought by Amazon a while ago.
Oh,
of course.
So, so it just doesn't exist by name. It's just something else now, or
yeah. Well, if you're ever on Amazon, go to look for comics. Like the comics, click on them where it says comics and such. It'll be the Comixology logo and such, but it's really Amazon.
Oh.
So.
Oh boy, Amazon's taking over everything. Do you have a favorite character?
The butler.
The butler was cool. I don't know how I feel about Archie. I feel like not that he seemed oblivious, but like I don't know, like he was just like an effortless hero, if that makes sense. Like he wasn't really doing anything super special, but you could tell.
Oh no,
that
he has
like,
a heart of gold.
Oh my god.
Well, remember he's
the
one
sweet red-haired boy.
But yeah, he's the one that got them to go to the lodges in the first place, and it was he who said, "Hey, eventually we're going to be overrun, so we should move." So
he's the smarter of the bunch.
Right. He is the leader.
Even though Lodge is like a CEO of a company.
Right.
Lodge doesn't like him.
No,
right.
A bunch of people don't like him.
Well, yeah, because he tried to invade his house to get to Veronica. That's how I got. He was like being super creepy and like scoping out the place. That's how I knew about the little thing in the pantry, the little opening, and how it's disabled, the camera there. So yeah, there's reasons why he doesn't like him.
Were there ever any like Archie cartoons?
As an
animated?
Sure,
as in like yeah.
I would have to think the answer is yes. I don't know. So, but for this comic series to go on so long in print, I would say the almost whether they're available, I have no idea. But
was
it should be around. Richie
Rich supposed to be some sort of spoof satire knockoff of Archie?
That I don't know.
And I think about it, I was like, I just feel like, what was that?
Was Richie Rich a cartoon?
Yeah.
It's a comic book too.
Yeah, it was. Everything's a comic book first, I believe.
In this world, that's likely true. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, all of those old cartoons / comics. By what I mean is by that, it's not like. Actually, I don't know. Transformers, Ninja Turtles. Did they start out as comics? He-Man. Yep. G.I. Joe.
I would not be surprised if the answer was yes. They all did.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what it feels like would be.
Care Bears.
What?
Care Bears.
Care Bears.
I'm not sure we got to this the cynical part where we make the product and then make the comics to sell more. As far as I know, it's the other way around. But who knows?
Final thoughts?
Yeah, I think maybe final thoughts.
I gotta get on the road soon.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, you first.
5 stars. I'm saying that just because not only does the artist deserve part of that rating, everything about that book was good. Putting everything together, and again, I knew nothing about Archie, so I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to compare to?
Right.
So,
I think I would also give it 5 stars, and I really liked the artwork, and I liked how the backstory was provided, and it just helped me care about the characters and like their history, and like I liked the currentness of it, and it defied my expectations when I was thinking about it, and I would definitely read the second volume, and it was a good spooky season read.
I guess for me, I'm looking at we'll see what I wrote in my original review. But yeah, I think the most notably, like the difference comparing from just looking at like the splash page of the Archie comics page, like the colors are so different.
Yeah.
They're like, so dark and muted in this one, whereas with Archie comics in general, like my God,
right, yeah.
It's like you're not in Kansas anymore. So, but I also liked it, like Desirai said, it updated it with more modern tropes, and it's just like, what's this quaint little 50s era comic book sort of a thing. So I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It's very good.
And I'll look up both the illustrator and the writer to see what else they've worked on. But I'm curious, because if he's working on Riverdale, the TV show, then I'm wondering what other TV shows he might have worked on or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I don't know the chronology. If he created this book and they said, "Oh, hey, this is really good. Do you want to do this TV?" So because as far as I know, he's still the showrunner of Riverdale.
So, just as the last time, we read Afterlife with Archie, and there's zombies in it, and it's a very modernized Archie, and
it's a mature version of Archie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you can't see that very well. But the artwork.
Those colors stand out, but they're not like the fluorescent.
Yeah, great themed, theme work.
So,
and
2 great creators.
Yeah, so this was book 1. Next month we are reading, and I don't have a copy because I have the audiobook, but next month for November we are reading Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And John and I recently had the opportunity to see her speak. She was here in Tampa, and she spoke at USF. And did you pick it? I hope you picked it because you recognized it and you remembered what she was saying about it, or did you just randomly?
No, it was partially because of that.
Okay, because she was just talking about why she called it Silver Nitrate and what it was about, and just her thoughts about film, and it was just
okay. So I know there's a connection and film. Is it? All right, sorry, go on.
Film, not werewolves.
No.
So yeah, it was just really interesting to hear her talk about it, and it made me want to read it. So I think it'll make for a good discussion. And I've been trying to read more of her work anyway. So that's what we will be reading in November. And if you've had an opportunity to pop in to see what we were talking about, if you haven't read Afterlife with Archie yet, read it, come back, check out this video.
Yeah, before Halloween, because it's really obviously.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a good read for this month. And one more time, if you ever want to join us on our discussion on camera, you can do that by becoming a book club VIP member at patreon.com/Libri Labra. So if you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you have a wonderful October and a wonderful Halloween. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.